All right. So I want to talk about another back test on this FXTM channel. If you watch the videos we post, you can tell that we do a lot of 1 month back tests on a variety of different channels. Basically, what we're doing is we are building a database of top performers. Every channel we can find, if it shows promise, we'll back test it and we'll be able to publish and share. Here's what you can expect out of a channel in order to bring transparency, right? And then we can advise also, like, what's the format like, because if you don't use a copier, it doesn't really matter, but a lot of people like to use copiers. And so how well does it play with a copier, right? So FXTM, and I've done 2 back tests on this already. I did one that I published yesterday for the month of March, and then one last month for the month of February. So for February, if you've watched that video, the return was about 3.5%. And my risk metric is that I take a $10,000 account and I trade 0.1 size lots. So it's like a fixed lot size, right? Maybe that works for you, maybe it doesn't, but that's the risk metric that I use. So since I've got February and March already, I decided I would do October to January. So for, if you remember, this is March, $643. And for February, it did about $357. So let's take a look at how it did over the last, for the 4 months prior. So it gives us a picture of 6 months total, right? So I really like these scatter plots because I feel like they give you an idea of, here's where the losses fall, right? And then here's where the wins tend to fall, right? So there's a variety. But we can see that, a lot of the wins are larger than the losses, which is a good thing. And we can see the entries by hours, right? So it trades pretty much the whole session, which makes it, if you want to do this stuff manually, it makes it challenging to catch all these trades. And one thing I like about this particular channel, FTXM, is, it's free, but also the format's pretty friendly to a copier. It's pretty easy to get it set up and, getting the trades triggering. Whereas some channels, it's real challenging. And MetaTrader by itself is already a challenge. A lot of you probably don't realize that the brokers change requirements on servers all the time, depending on what their risk perception is. If it's like a high risk environment, they'll reject a lot of orders just because they don't want the risk, right? So let's take a look at the returns. Here's the plot, right? So, for, I think, October and November, there was a lot of churn, but then we really kind of took off. And you can see that it did $4,941, and that's in a 6 month period, or it's in a 4 month period. So the total that this channel did on a $10,000 account using 0.1 size lots, 49.41 in October to January, 357 in February, and 643 in March. So that equals $5,941. So that's about a 60% return over the course of 6 months on a free channel that has pretty good signal format. All right. So yeah,